Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Today we are going to discuss passive voice. Passive voice المبني للمجهول. When we use passive voice, we don't know who does the action, or we don't care who is he. We just focus on the action itself. So today we are going to discuss passive voice in present simple and in past simple and in present perfect. So we are going to take three tenses, passive voice in three tenses: present simple, past simple, and present perfect. First of all, we read our sentences, then we are going to determine these sentences. Where is the subject, where is the verb, where is the object? We decide which tense is this. Is it present, is it past, or is it present perfect? To use the correct form of verb to be. We use verb to be with passive voice either in a present simple as is or are, depending on the object. Yes, in the object, if it is singular, we use is. If it's plural, we use are. We use it in past simple as was or were. If it is singular, we use was with singular objects, and we use were for plural objects. Okay. Verb to be in present perfect. In present perfect, after has and have, we use verb to be in the third form. That is been. Has been and have been, with the verb in the past participle, with the verb in the past participle. And so verb to be is connected with passive voice. Either in a present we use is or are, depending on the object. If it is singular, we use is. If it is plural, we use are. In the past simple, we use was or were, depending on the object. If it is singular, we use was. If it is plural, we use were. With the present perfect, with after has and have, we use the third form of verb to be. That's mean been, with the past participle of the verb, after these three tenses. Okay, this is first of all. Okay, and now sentence number one. Millions of people use the internet. Millions of people use the internet. What is the tense of this sentence? What is the tense of this sentence? This is present simple. How do I know it's a present simple? Because the verb with no s, with the plural subject, okay. Then we are going to determine the subject. We are going to determine the sentence. راح نجزء الجملة. Where is the subject? Where is the verb? Where is the object? Millions of people. This is the subject of this sentence. Use. This is the verb. Of this sentence. Internet, this is the object. So we are going to change this sentence into passive voice. Passive voice, we should start with the object. We put the object at the beginning of the sentence. The internet. With the present simple, we use is or are with the third form of the verb. Here, internet, it is uncountable noun. uncountable نعامله احنا معاملة المفرد singular. So singular we use is is the internet is. The third form of the verb use. This is regular verb. With regular verb, third participle should be followed by suffix ed, but this verb ends with final e. Final e, we shouldn't add e, we just add the suffix d. The internet is used, then agent by. At the end of the sentence, we write the subject of this sentence. Millions by millions of people. So, the internet is used by millions of people. This is the passive voice. Here we change this sentence into passive voice. First of all, we determine the subject, the verb, and the object. We start at the object. We put it at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, followed by verb to be. Verb to be with the present simple. We use is or are. Here, internet is singular, so we use the is. Verb in the third form. It is a regular verb. So we add suffix ed. But the verb here ends with final e. With final e, we just add suffix d. By, agent by. Then at the end of the sentence, we use the subject. At the end of the sentence. Okay. Next sentence, Alexander Graham Bell. This is the name of somebody. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Okay. Just by looking at the verb, we can say it's past simple because the verb is followed by suffix ed. Okay, now we are going to determine the sentence. Where is the subject, where is the verb, and where is the object? Then we change it into passive. Okay, where is the subject? Alexander Graham Bell, the name of the person. This is the subject of this sentence. Invented, this is the verb of this sentence. The telephone, this is the object. And we always start passive voice with objects. So we put the object at the beginning of the sentence, followed by verb to be, then the main verb in the third form, then the subject at the end of the sentence. Okay, the object here is the telephone. The telephone. Verb to be. For past simple, we use was or were depending on the object. If it's singular, we use was. If it's plural, we use were. Telephone. This is a singular, so we use was. Verb with the third form. If it's regular form, it's okay. If regular form, second form, and third form, all followed by suffix ed. Invented. This is the second form, and this is the third form. Both of them is followed by ed. By agent. By. The telephone was invented by whom? By Alexander Graham Bell. This is the subject at the end of the sentence. So we put the object at the beginning of the sentence, followed by was, because it is a past simple. This sentence in the past simple. and telephone singular, so we use was. Verb in the third form followed by regular verb followed by ed, then agent by, then the subject at the end of the sentence. Alexander Graham Bell. Okay, clear? Okay, the last sentence, technology has changed our lives. Okay, now we are going to determine the sentence. Where is the subject? Where is the verb? Where is the object? Technology, this is the subject. Has changed, this is the verb. Our lives, this is the object. Okay, the verb of the sentence, in which tense has changed. This is a present perfect, and in a present perfect we use has or have, depending if the subject, depending on the subject. If it is singular we use has, if it's plural we use have. With the third form of verb to be, and that means been, and with the third form of the main verb. Okay, now we are going to change this sentence into passive. We start with the object, we put it at the beginning of the sentence. We put the object at the beginning of the sentence. Our lives. Has, we use has. Our lives, this is a plural, form. We use have. Verb to be in the third form, been, changed. This is the main verb change, in the past participle in the third form, followed by ed because it is a regular verb, finished with e. Verb ends with final e, so we just add the suffix d. Our lives have been changed by whom or by what? By technology. Technology is the subject, and it comes at the end of the sentence. So we can summarize the form of the passive voice. The passive voice sentence starts with object plus verb to be. This means either is or are for present, or was, were for past, or with has been and have been. It changes. Verb to be changes depending on the tense, and depending on if it's a singular or a plural. Then the main verb in the past participle. This is the third form of the verb. Then agent by, then subject at the end of the sentence. This is the form of passive voice. Passive voice starts with object. Then verb to be, phrase with depending on the tense and depending if it's a singular or a plural. Then number 3, the main verb in past participle in the third form. If it's regular, should be followed by ed. If it's irregular, verb should be written in the third form. Then agent by, then the subject. That's all.